In 1765, the British government took a major step that would significantly change its relationship with the American colonies. After the end of the French and Indian War, Britain faced a large national debt and ongoing expenses for maintaining troops in North America. Parliament believed that the colonies should help pay for these costs, especially since the war had been fought partly to defend them. In March of 1765, Parliament passed a new law called the Stamp Act, marking a significant shift in British policy toward the colonies. Unlike earlier measures like the Sugar Act, which mainly affected trade, the Stamp Act directly impacted everyday life across the colonies. The law required that many printed materials carry an official stamp purchased from British authorities. These materials included newspapers, legal documents, licenses, contracts, pamphlets, and even playing cards. Without this stamp, documents were considered invalid. This made the Stamp Act one of the first direct internal taxes imposed on the colonies by Parliament, marking a significant change in policy. It did not simply regulate trade, it required colonists to pay taxes on everyday activities within their own communities. From the British perspective, the tax seemed reasonable. Stamp taxes were already used in Britain, and Parliament believed it was fair to apply a similar system in the colonies. The revenue collected from the stamps was intended to help pay for British troops stationed in North America, which were meant to protect colonial settlements. However, many colonists saw the situation very differently. While the cost of the stamps was not extremely high, the issue was not simply economic. It was political. Colonists argued that they had no direct representation in Parliament since they could not elect members of the British government. Although they chose representatives for their own colonial assemblies, they lacked a voice in decisions made in London. Because of this, many believed that Parliament did not have the right to impose taxes on them. This idea became known as taxation without representation, a concern that had existed before but now became far more immediate and visible. For the first time, a British tax directly affected a wide range of people in their everyday lives across the colonies. Another important distinction was that the Stamp Act was viewed as an internal tax, unlike earlier laws that mainly regulated imperial trade. Many colonists believed that taxing internal colonial activities crossed a new line and expanded Parliament's authority too far. Different groups in colonial society were affected in different ways. Printers and publishers had to pay for stamped paper in order to produce newspapers and pamphlets. Lawyers needed stamped documents for legal transactions. Merchants required them for contracts and shipping papers. Even ordinary citizens encountered the tax through items like licenses and printed materials. Because the law touched so many areas of daily life, it quickly became a major topic of discussion throughout the colonies. Colonial assemblies debated the issue intensely, and many people began questioning the limits of Parliament's authority. At this stage, resistance was still developing. The Stamp Act itself did not immediately lead to widespread violence, but it created a shared concern across different colonies. People who had not been directly affected by earlier trade laws now found themselves involved in the issue. The law was scheduled to take effect later in 1765, giving colonists time to organize responses and debate its implications. During this period, discussions about rights, representation, and political authority spread rapidly throughout the colonies. The Stamp Act marked an important turning point. It showed that Britain was willing to impose direct taxes on the colonies in order to raise revenue. At the same time, it made clear that many colonists were beginning to question that authority in a more organized and unified way. In the months that followed, opposition to the Stamp Act became stronger and increasingly organized throughout the colonies. Protests, boycotts, and coordinated political action spread rapidly as resistance to British policy intensified. What began as a law passed by Parliament would soon develop into a larger crisis that challenged the structure of the British Empire in North America.